All right, hey folks, it's Thursday night. It's Thursday night design stream. Let me check my signal to make sure we're live. We're going to continue work on the color mana system, converting Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition 2024 into the 5-color magic paradigm from Magic the Gathering. Into the 5-color magic. And it sounds like our vocals are coming through strong, so let's go ahead and drop that out of auto. Get that so it's not muted. There, I'm going to grab that. We're going to, let me post real quick that I'm live to the social feeds. And then we'll get up and running here for a couple hours. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons since 1987. I've been a Magic enthusiast since 93. I've been a freelance illustrator in the RPG industry since 1999, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition since 2017. The first book I published on the DMsGuild was the Color Mana Spell Point Variant Rules, which converts the 8 schools of magic and spell slot system of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition into the color mana magic paradigm of Magic the Gathering of white, blue, black, red, green. And then you have mana that is devoted to the same color as your spell. So a fireball is a 3rd level red spell. So to cast that spell, we would tap 3 mana, and at least one point would have to be red, and the other 2 could be red or any other color that you want. But you tap, you cast, and there you go. It's a straight 1-to-1 point ratio mana system. And you can either just have a narrative where you're using just generic spell points, or spell slots even if you wanted, where the narrative of it is the 5 colors instead of the 8 schools. So the only thing you're changing is the identity of the spells. And otherwise, how those spells are cast with what sort of mana is left purely narrative, as is how you express the visuals of the spell. Like if you're casting with white magic, you might make it look more like a radiant fireball effect as opposed to a, say, red magic fireball would be more like deep charcoaly burning fire. But if it's all narrative, that's just the flavor that you have. Like if you're in a Zet blue, red blue sort of caster, then maybe you'd have that thicker, like more charcoaly type fire effect. And if you were, say, Boros, which is white and red, maybe it would be a more radiant fireball. But that's just narrative. Then you can have strict prep systems where you can only prep spells that are aligned or that are devoted to the colors that you identify with for your characters. Like if you're playing a Rakdos character, you would be able to choose from the spells on your list that are red and black. And if a spell like a healing spell, which is normally like white and green, if you wanted to have access to that, you'd have to know somebody who could teach it to you, research it, find it in like a spell book or a prayer scroll somewhere, or you prepare it twice. So once just to have the spell, and then again so that it'd be devoted to the color that you want. So that adds layers of complexity and limitation to full casters that have a huge gamut of spells that they have access to, but now they have to do more work to get access to them so they can diversify away from the character. And then you have strict mana, which is each point, instead of just being able to throw a spell at somebody, spend a couple points and you just describe it, now you have to specifically have mana the color of the spell that you have. So like that red spell, that fireball spell, that's 3 mana, it would require 1 point of red mana, and if in your mana pool you don't have any red mana right now, you wouldn't be able to cast it. So like if you learned that spell as a red and a white spell, then if you had at least red or white in your pool, you'd be able to cast it either way. But then you can, whenever you take a short or a long rest, you can devote your however much mana you have at the time, you can devote it to whatever color you want. So there's different layers of complexity and restriction that you can place on what you can learn as a spellcaster and how you can cast it if you want to add a deeper level of complexity. Like if you really think the martial caster divide is a significant problem, you can add these layers of restriction onto like a full caster has strict mana and strict preparation And it's, and so the narrative of the spells is guided by the colors that the spells are devoted to and the mana that you're using to cast them. While, say, a martial character either doesn't have a mana pool at all, or if it is a subclass like half-caster, then they would only have to worry about strict preparation, and they wouldn't have to worry about strict mana. So you could have different degrees of freedom between the different tiers of classes if you want to find a way, like a meta mechanic, to balance them out without having to change a bunch of mechanics. Or you can go off the deep end like we go within these books and rebuild every single one of the classes to use mana so that you have a unified mana system as the core for Magic the Gathering games. And all these books are on the DMsGuild already. It's actually the spell point variant rules that we have depicted down here. Here, let me switch my screen around. I probably rambled on enough, but this gives you an idea of what it is that we're doing and why is it being done. So that's the reason for these things. Here on the X Twitter platform, I'm at Phil Kearney. You can see illustrations, works in progress, links to different articles, publications, and other stuff. So you can be welcome to check all that stuff out if you want. Here on YouTube, like, subscribe, and hey, new subscribers, thanks a lot, guys. Like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that I've created already. They're all free, free to view, but we want to specifically go to the Color Mana Spell Point variant rules. Here's all the books that we've created. They have a 35% discount during the holiday season here, so you can pick them all up at a pretty steep discount. The book that we're working on right now is Revised 5-Color Magic Spell List. But this, and if you pop this open, it's pay what you want, so pick it up if you want. But otherwise, here's the free posting. It breaks down how color magic works in general, like how do you define what are the 5 different colors, white, blue, black, red, green, and like what are some key components or like aspects, like descriptor tags that you could place on what each one of these colors are. Like white is often associated with divinity and light, protection, restraint, healing, while like say green is also healing and not divinity, but spirit and nature and plants and animals. And then like you say, then you go to like say black. Black isn't divinity and it isn't spirits, but it is individual soul magic. And there's also darkness, entropy, fear, control, these more darker, pardon the pun, darker elements of the heart. But there's also like black is also in charge of like independence and self-reliance and ambition. So I think we can revisit the aspects of magic and probably improve upon how we're describing them. So that's one of the things that we're going to do. And then you have down here we have the damage types that there's 10 types of damage in the game and there's 5 colors. So conveniently each color can be devoted to to 4 of the 10 damage types. Bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage is just generic damage. It can be any color, whatever. It's not a color. It's just hitting stuff. So, but white, blue, black, red, green. Each one of them is devoted to 4 colors, and the colors that we selected here is based mostly on a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand cards that we reviewed. Like looking at all the cards in Magic the Gathering that are lightning, I looked at I think like 400 of them. All of them but 2 were red, and the 2 that weren't red didn't deal damage. They were just in the title. So I think if I recall that correctly, but it was ridiculously outnumbered. So we just left it in red. Fire, obviously red. But green was a lot of fun, like acid, cold, poison, and thunder. That leans into that nature, weather, animal sort of feeling where like poison is an obvious animal defense, right? Acid isn't so much an animal thing, but like thunder and cold or weather are like definitely like weather type conditions. And then acid, I think we went with that just because it made the most sense to have acid for black and green, like slugs and mollusks in Magic the Gathering show up as green, but then trying to think of. There's like a number of like instant like acid splash sort of spell effects that were generally black and green effects. So that Magic the Gathering, all these colors here generally are leaning into the narrative from Magic the Gathering. It just worked out really well that we could make those sequence together. So if you take these different descriptors or aspects of Magic that are that identify or align to each color, and then you couple that with the types of damage that spells can do, then we build a frame for choosing what color a spell is going to be devoted to. Acid Splash, pretty obvious, it's going to be black and green because the colors that's devoted to it deals acid damage, as opposed to, like, say, Chill Touch does necrotic damage. Poorly named. I think it's Chilling Touch now. I think they changed it. So we have to go through the list and look at what 2024 did and update the entire full spell list to update like this. So that's what we're in the process of doing. If we want to spin down real quick, just to punctuate the state this conversation, we'll go down to where we were with Fireball, 3rd level spell, red spell. There you go. But like, look at this elemental weapon, because you can choose like 5 different types of elements. There's a slew of different elements that you can choose to deal damage when you choose elemental weapons. So that means that it can be devoted to any of these colors. You don't have to specifically, like if you want to deal acid damage, you don't specifically have to spend green or black mana. But if that's the theme of your character, black and green, like Golgari, then your elemental weapon, thematically, it would deal acid damage. But like if you wanted to deal cold or fire or thunder damage, you're welcome. You can. The spell lets you do it, and the restricts these strict mana limitations that it is strictly self-imposed. Like that's the narrative of the game. I mean, you could decide in session 0, everyone decides that we're going to play with strict prep and strict mana to be as close to MTG as we can get, because that's the experience that we want. But the game is built around just narrative Magic, where it doesn't matter which points you have them devoted to. Although we have mechanics in the character classes, like if you spend all black mana on this, when you cast this spell, like you don't have to maintain concentration on it or something like that. Like there's a lot of interesting 2024 flavored kicker effects you can do based on strict mana. But it's like that's like for the tradition of black Magic for Wizards. Like even if you weren't using the Magic system, you'd still allow the character to do that because that's their subclass feature. But we're just thematically making it all black in that sense that like if your specialization as a wizard is the tradition of black Magic, then all of your subclass features are going to be driven by using black Magic or black mana. So expressing that, if you're using a strict Magic system, then you're going to want to pour as much black into that character as you can. So it's gonna feed the narrative of I need to pump this guy to do a lot of black Magic because all my features are built around it. But if you're just using a soft, like just a narrative system, or just devoted preparation, then it's like if you tap only black mana when you cast this spell, then you want to make sure that spell is going to be black Magic. So anyway, those are some of the ideas that go on behind it. So we have our handy dandy table. This is something that if you just to spout my own bits, if you buy this bundle, you get this spell list. It has all the spells from 2024, the ones that were just in the player's handbook, every single one of the spells that have been published up through 2020, prior to 2024, including if we're looking at all spells, including Air Bubble, like the Spelljammer's Adventures in Space are in here as well, which is the last book that I believe that was published that has new spells in them. So they're all in here. And then we broke them down individually, the separate spell lists for, we have the Ravnica and Strixhaven, but like all the Artificer spells, Bard, Cleric, all the separate spells, the subclass options for Monk, Way of the Elements, etc., Paladin, Sorcerer, Ranger, blah. All the individual class lists broken down as well. So like here's just wizard spells. There you go. It's all the spells from all the splats. But right now what we're doing is we took the all player handbook spells we duplicated that list here in 2014, and we've relabeled to be the 2024 Player's Handbook. So let's quick first take a look at why are those missing? Huh. Let's go over here. For some reason, I do not have these two. So let's grab those. My mouse is being wonky on me again. Bring this up to here. That. I'm going to cut there. No, hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. Got that straightened out. Cool. One more second. There. Okay, cool. So let's zoom back in and let's consider divinity, healing, light, protection, restraint. I generally like those ideas. I think those are cool. Air, illusion, mind, suppress, water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Air. She's at the sky. No, air's good enough. Air, illusion. Illusion feels right. Mind. I guess I'm okay with, yeah, mind's cool. Suppression, that's good, because that's like counter magic and stuff like that. Restraint, suppression, water, definitely water. If I were to add another aspect to white, what would it be? Look at that, cooperation. Let's try that. Let's strap that on, see how that feels. Air. Let's go with creation. Let's see. Black. Control, entropy, fear. Soul. I still feel like soul is on point. Soul. And like ambition is such a. Let's go with that. Add some just nonsense flavor in there. Aggression, earth, emotion. That's too much. We don't need just emotion. We need earth, fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emotion, impulse. Let's go with creation, and then for air instead of creation. Let's go with ingenuity. That feels right. And then green, animals, healing, plants, nature, spirits, and let's tack on tradition. Six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, let's have those stand for now. Colors, still great. This becomes a little redundant right now. Delete. Insert. C is concentration. Oof, man, I've got a fire going and that thing is cooking. I need to open a window. That is just too hot. Oh, excuse me for a second. I have to put on a bathing suit in here to stay cool. No thirst trapping, Phil. Understood. So the durations here. So the simplified duration mechanics that we have as part of the mana tapping system is you either have an instant, concentration, or persistent spell. An instantaneous spell is pop. There you go. Teleportation, fireball, healing, stuff like that. Persistent, or rather, let's say concentration. Yeah, ICP. So concentration spells. You maintain concentration on them. The spell has a duration. There is no limited duration. Like a lot of, like in the player's handbook, it'll say like duration 1 minute requires concentration, or like 10 minutes requires concentration. The way that we built out the systems, the simplified durations is if it requires concentration, you can keep that spell up and running for however long you can sustain your concentration. But we have attrition, what we call attrition checks, which are occasionally, typically no more than how to word it. The frequency should be at minimum once per hour. You're basically forcing some sort of a saving throw onto whoever's maintaining concentration just to shit test them, just to see if they can retain it, or do they have to spend more mana to keep the spell up and running, because you're allowing the spell to run longer than it might normally be allowed to run. You're basically giving them free castings of the spell. So you should test them occasionally. But the higher the level of the spell, the higher the DC of the saving throw gets. 10 plus level of spell maintained. And you can, if you're a 17th level character that can cast a 9th level spell, you can sustain 9 levels worth of spells. Even if it's more than just one. Like, you can put haste on three different castings of haste. You might not want to do that, but like you could do like blind and hold person at the same time if you wanted to on the same target. Blindness is, I think, 2nd level spell, and then hold person is also a 2nd level spell. So that would be 4 mana worth of effects that you're concentrating on, and you wouldn't be able to do that until you're at least 7th level, because 7th level characters can cast up to 4th level spells. Those 2 2nd level spells would eat up all of your concentration. And now, every time you make a saving throw, whether or not it hurts you or not, if you make any saving throw, you have to roll at least a DC 14 or you lose both spells. So if you want to stack spell effects, you're going to start paying for it with more saving throw checks to shit test your mana, because like at 3rd level you have, like, a wizard has like 10 mana at 3rd level. You can at 3rd level you can throw a lot of 1st and 2nd level spells. So if you're maintaining concentration on a bunch of 1st and 2nd level spell effects, you can afford to cast a whole bunch of them again. So you can shit test them to make them lose it. So that means that you can, things that may have a and then persistent durations are things that don't require concentration. They basically last until you finish a long rest. And then if you want to, when you finish a long rest, you can leave that mana spent so the spell effect doesn't end. You just save yourself from having to cast it again. So in most circumstances, that's not going to matter because there's like no real expensive material components. But if there is, when you just automatically up the spell, you have to have that component on hand. It'll automatically get destroyed or whatever if you do. So that's the simplified duration, very easy. But because they're so simplified, we have to look at what the actual, because the durations in the player's handbook, it doesn't say persistent. It just says this spell lasts 8 hours. So we're converting them all over, and then we get to critique, should this be a concentration effect or should it really be a persistent effect? Like, do you need mage armor to wear out after 8 hours, or is it okay that it just runs for 24? And you just leave a point permanently burned so that it just always stays active. Like, that's fine. That allows you to set up this system where you're just constantly like leaving mana unclaimed. Like, you just constantly have mana burned as like in Path of Exile. You have a reserve mana supply that allows your auras to stay active all the time. This is that same sort of idea, that you just leave that mana in reserve to sustain the persistent spells that you've activated, so they just never, until somebody hits you with a Dispel Magic, they're just going to keep going. You've basically warded yourself in this bubble of magical effects that you just put, I just like devote 15 points of mana to have all this shit up and running all the time. And then on top of that, I can stack a bunch of concentration effects. And now I'm just this giant ball of magical energy that's rolling through your dungeons, destroying everything that I run across, until somebody wings a rock at me and forces me to make a topple check. And I botch my strength check, and I ditch off like 9 points of mana. and now I need my fighter to cover my ass while I spend a few rounds buffing myself again. Fun stuff like that. It's got some real ARPG components to it. So hopefully y'all find that stuff fun. But I'm going to let's drop this down to here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to draw this in here. We're going to grab our spells for 2024. We're just going to pull all spells, just all the spells for 2024. The only filter we're going to place on it is show advanced features, which is going to be source category, is going to be core rules, which automatically defaults to 2024 Player's Handbook. Partner content, fuck no. And we don't care about any other restrictions. I want to see them all. So it's going to press the all button. I'm going to sort them now by level. So we should have cantrips alphabetical, and there we are. Cool. So we have all that stuff built in, and I'm going to pull this over here to the side a little bit so that we can have both these things kicking next to each other. Have that there. Let's pull this in a bit here. Okay, we should be able to do this. So initially, I just want to verify if the spell is there or not. And so that means we're just going to sweep through all of them. And if the spell is present, great, we leave it be. If it's not on the official list, then we'll erase it from this list. Again, this is the 2024. We still have our 2014, all of our stuff from 2014 here, which when I rebuild the book and then republish on DMsGuild, the 2014 copy will be in the zip folder along with all the mana tokens, the character sheets, the mana play mats. All that stuff will be there for you, and then the old 2014 rules will be there for you as well. But flashy, pretty new, 2024 rules, I want to make sure that those are the ones that are visible when you look at the free preview. So that's what we're in the process of building, rebuilding everything. So we're going to go back down to here. We're going to look at Acid Splash, check. Blade Ward, check. So-called Chill Touch, cool. Dancing Lights, Druidcraft, Eldritch Blast. Elementalism has been added. So right now, all we're concerned about is is the spell present or not. And we'll fill in the rest of the details when we come back to it. So, in the meantime, stick with this. Friends, Firebolt, Friends, Guidance, Light, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion, Mind Sliver. Insert. 0. Mind Sliver. Thank you. Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Produce Flame, Ray of Frost. Thank you. After we sweep through the spells, we'll open up the description for every one of them and do a reread just to see what their details are. And just to do a gut check to make sure that we have the right colors. Some of these spells are going to have colors added. I don't think we're going to see very many instances of spells losing colors. I think we're just spreading, we're just diversifying spells a little bit more in this process. But I want to go through all of them just to make sure I have them all in place so that I can make sure I don't skip any as we go through this process. So, Shillelagh, Shocking Grasp. Spare the Dying. Okay, so we got Sorcerer's Burst and Starry Wisp. Insert. Zero. Burst, and then Spare the Dying, and then Starry Wisp. Oh, how'd that happen? Come on, Kearney. There we go. Starry Wisp, Thaumaturgy, Thorn Whip, Thunderclap, Toll the Dead, maybe I should have used the entire spell list instead of the reduced spell list. Vicious Mockery. And Word of Radiance. I don't remember Word of Radiance. I don't think I've ever read Word of Radiance. How exciting. Alright, first level spells. Alarm, Animal, Armor, Arms of Hadar, Bane, Bless. Excuse me. Got some smoke going on from the fire. Burning Hands, Charm Person, Chromatic Orb, Color Spray, Command, Compel Duel, Comprehend Languages, Create Destroy Water, Cure Wounds, Detect Evil and Good, Detect Magic, Detect Poison. Wait a second. How does that work? In Magical Contagions. Magical Contagions. Oh, that's weird. Huh. I was trying to spread out to see if I could see the full word of it, but whatever. Let's take it as it is. Cool. Magical Contagions. You know what? I don't think I know much about Magical Contagions yet, so I'm going to have to look that up. Yee! That's relevant for the Eberron adventure. Sky Self, Dissonant Whispers, Divine Favor. Okay, Divine Smite, yeah, that's a thing. Insert 1 Divine Smite. Ensnaring Strike and Entangle, Expeditious Retreat, Fairy Fire, A-OK. False Life, Featherfall, Find Familiar, Fog Cloud, Goodberry, Grease. I think I got a page break here. Guiding Bolt, Hail of Thorns, Healing Word, Hellish Rebuke, Heroism, Hex, Hunter's Mark, Ice Knife. Thank you. Identify, Illusory Script, Inflict Wounds, Jump, Lone Strider, Mage Armor. Missile, protection from evil and good, purify good food and water, ray of sickness, sanctuary, searing smite, shield of faith, not to be confused with shield, silent image, sleep, speak, Tasha, tensor, thunder, unseen servant, witch bolt, wrathful smite. Now we're on to the second level. Okay, we'll be done with this probably in like next 10 minutes. That's cool. I'm good with that. And then we get into the description of it all. So, aid, alter self. I mean, when you're just reading words on the list, it goes by pretty quickly. Thanks for sticking around, folks. Arcane Luck. Arcane Vigor is new. Whoa, lost that. Come on back now, buddy. There. I don't know what this is about. That's what that was about. That was weird. Arcane Vigor. That's what I'm trying to peel open here. Insert. 2. Arcane Vigor. Vigor Moss. Augury. Bark Skin. Beast Sense. Blindness, Deafness. Blur. No more Branding Smite. Okay, we get rid of Branding Smite. Calm Emotions, Cloud o' Daggers, Continual Flame. Okay, no more Crown of Madness. Nope, there it is. Crown of Arrows, Crown of Madness. Darkness. Dark Vision. Thoughts. Dragon Breath. Or the Dragons. Breath. Enhance ability, enlarge, reduce, enthrall. Cool. Find Steed. Find Traps. Flame Blade. Fallen Sphere. Gentle Repose. Ghost of Wind, Heat Metal, Hold Person, Invisibly, Speggy Merbles, Knock, Lesser Restoration, Levitate, Locate Critters, Locate Stuff, Magic Mouth, Magic Weapon, Melf, Mind Spike. Spoik. Mirror Image, Misty Step. Look at this, we're making great progress. Moonbeam on Mom's shoulders. Mistle, pass. Phantasmal, Prayer Healing. Prop from Poi, Ray, Rope, Scorch, Sea, Shatter, Silence, oop, Shining Smite. That's what happened to Branding Smite. Can't have people getting branded now, can we? Shining Smite. Hey, Omni, how you doing? Oh no, man. Hey, man, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I just appreciate you showing up. Thanks a lot. We're going through the color mana list, so we're just verifying that we have all the spells that are in the PHB 2024. And once we do that, we're going to go through all of them again and make sure that the amount of colors that each spell is devoted to is still best judgment, or do I need to add or edit? So a little bit of a summon beast. So we're just going through all the spells. Once we get through them, then we'll be able to bring it down. Zone, and then animate dead. So let's create a gap here. That's it. There. Animate dead, Aura of Vitality, Beacon of Hope. Beacon of... Aura of Vitality, Beacon of Hope, Bestow Curse. Blinding Smite still exists. Blink. Call Lightning, Clairvoyance, Conjure Animals, Conjure Barrage, Counter Spell, Create Food and Water, Crusader's Mantle, Daylight, Dispel Magic, Elemental Weapon, Fear, Feign, Fireball, next page. Gaseous Form, Glyph of Warding, Haste, Hunger, Hypno. Leo, Lightning, Magic Circle, Major Image, Mass Healing, Meld in the Stone, Non-Detection, Phantom Steed, Plant Growth, Prop Energy, Remove Curse, Revivify, Simbing, Sleet Storm, Slow, Speak with the Dead, Speak with the Plants, Spurt Guardians, Stinky Cloud, ooh, Summon Fae. And insert again for Summon Undead. How you doing tonight, Omni? Dead. And then Tongus, Vampire Touch, Water Breath, Water Walk, Wind Walk. On the 4th level spells, Arcani, Aura of Life, Aura of Purity. I've never had anyone ever use Aura of Purity in game. Banishment, Blight, Charm Monster, huh? Charm Monster. Compulsion. Turn the page for more information. Insert. What's up? Not bad. Good, good. Hey, right on. Well, I hope this acts as a good study hall for you to just kind of drone in the background while you're productive. I know that's what I do with a lot of streams that I listen to. I'm often writing or painting or something when I'm listening to somebody else talking about something. It's just good quality time. Deathward, Dimdor, Div, Dom, Ever, Fabry, Kate, Fire Shield, Font of Moonlight. That's new. Insert. Font of Moonlight. There. Ooh, Fount of... Oh, my bad. Freedom of Movement, Giant Inspect, Gasping Brine, Invulnerability, Guerdon Faith, Hallucinaries, Ice Sturm, Leo Chest. So everyone look at that Private Sanctum, baby. Locate creature. Faith, Private, Odie. My mouse is wigging out on me. The wireless mouse sometimes gets fritzy on the Wacom tablet. It doesn't like I think it doesn't like the radio signal that gets sent out. Ah, right on. Alexa, I'm familiar with your stuff. Oh, right on. I mean, that's fair. I mean, my stuff is just homebrew after all. Third party, I suppose you could say. I guess I have third party publisher status at this point. Phantasmal Killer, Polymorph. I'm more. I'd be second party if Wizards hired me specifically to do this on my own. Alas, they haven't responded to my calls yet. Summon Amber. Ooh, I got a bunch of summons I get to drop in here, y'all. Stone Shape, Stone Skin, Vitriolic Sphere before. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something smells plasticky. I wonder if there's something in the fire that shouldn't be. Fire, that's going to be Summon, Aberration. 2 R's, huh? How did I ever not know that? Summon Construct. Summon Elemental. Vitriolic Sphere. Good. And while the fire animates stuff. What's it? Animate object. Anti-life stuff. Albican. Banishing Smite. Bagby's Hand. Circle of Power. There's only 20 pages. We're almost done. Similar things to stuff I've made that have come out from them months down the line. So great minds, yeah. I mean, nice. Absolutely. What that tells me when the stuff that you do starts showing up in other books, that tells me that you've got potential for doing Kickstarter stuff in the future. Cloud Kill, Commune. More Commune, Come with the Cold, Conjure, Contact Another Plane, Contagion Creation, Destructive Wave, Dispel Evil, Dominate Poison, Dream, Flame Strike, Gesh. Let's create some space here real quick. Gesh, Greater Restoration, Hollow, Hold Monster, Insect Planes, and Jarls. Jalarzi's Storm of something. How do I get from there to here? Aren't I supposed to be able to click on something or something to... I could swear I'm supposed to be able to like click on these things to go somewhere, right? View details page. Storm of Radiance. I learned how the thing worked today. Radiance. Exquisite. Legend lore. Mask Cure Wounds, Misled, Modify Memory, Pass Wall, Planar Binding, Raise Dead, Rara, Reincarnate, Scrying, Scene, Steel Wind Strike in the mix. Oh, we have more. Summon, summon, summon. 1, 2, 1, 2, summon, summon. So, some peeps were commenting about that. Not saying that they took anything from me. Don't want to get my words twisted, but you remember my examples of races having medium and small options. Right. Yep. Exactly. Well, sometimes being the first to market with just like an obvious solution just means that everyone just does that thing because it's obvious eventually, and it's certainly a feather in the hat to Celestial. It's certainly a feather in the hat to build those things out and have them and to know that you're first to market. Summon Dragon. But yeah, it means you've got sensibility on your side. Let's go with Synaptic Static for the win, Pat. Insert. Synaptic Static. T-Port. Tree Stride. Wall of Force. Wall of Stone. Oh, Yolanda's Regal Presence? Is that what that is? I see you over there. Yolandes. Right. Insert. 5. Yolandes Regal Presence. Never heard of her. I guess they're either really digging for vague references or they're making up new heroes for them to market. That's one of the things I like. Yeah. Does it look like they snatched some house rule people were already? Sure. Is it cool to have it officially codified? Also, sure. It's just common. I mean, at some point, it's just common sense. I think weapon mastery is being prepared instead of forced onto like preparing specific weapons to use that mastery. I think that's going to end up. I think that's going to be power creep, quote unquote, that we're going to see in the next couple of years. Contingency, create undead. It just seems dumb to have to specifically prep a weapon to be able to trip with it. Like for instance, I just think that's like something that's like a generic maneuver that anyone that has weapon masteries should be able to. Yeah, I can use this mastery. And if that means that they use one weapon and like 3 different types of mastery with that same weapon, then great, they've got their favorite fucking weapon. But then if you leave them bound to weapons specifically as well, like if you have the topple feature, you can topple anybody you want. But if you happen to be using a heavy crossbow, you can topple them anyway, just as being part of being proficient. Like that's the way that I've been approaching it with the martial power system, and to me that just feels like really intuitive. I think the reason Wizards didn't do it is because they didn't have any real-time playtesting stuff much on their own enough to get to a point where they reached that place where it's just fun to be able to do this. Instead of having to juggle 6 weapons that do different things, it's just more fun for you to be able to depict a hero as proficient and skilled with their weapons enough just to be able to knock in, like to trip people with weapons. You know, anyway, that's just my opinion. We'll see if time is on my side or not, so. Until then, I guess I'm just on the bleeding edge of couture design. Auto, planar, programmand, summon fiend. Then we got some more stuff. 6. Summon fiend. Sunbeam. Tasha's. Bubbling Cauldron. Transport via plant, true seeing. Wall of Ice, Wall of Thorns, Wind Walk, Word of Recall. Insert. Conjure. Celestial. Delayed Blast, Fireball, Divine Ward, Etherealness. We're almost done. We are almost done with our list of plenty. Finger of Death, Firestorm, Force Cage, Mirage Arcana, Mordenkainen's Magnificent. Ooh, wait. Oh, I have those out of order. Grr. Cut. Insert cut. Spread the love. Plane Shift. What? Power Word. I haven't seen this one yet. Power Word Fortify. Fun. Let's see what this thing does. You know, it says Fortify. I'm interested. 6 creatures you can see. Spells 120 temporary hit points, which is divine among the spell's recipients. Wow. Holy crap. 120 temporary hit points? That's pretty fucking crazy. Okay. Project Image, Regenerate, Resurrection, Reverse, Sequester, Symbol, Simulacrum, Symbol, Teleport. Now we're down to the grittiest of nitties. Animal Shapes, Anti-Magic Field, Antipathy, Sympathy. Ooh, Befuddlement. Insert. Oh, I think that's a rename. Befuddlement. Clone. Control weather. Demiplane. Dominate monster. Earthquake. Feeble Mind Be Gone. They poof. Glabness. Holy Aura. Indecent Cloud. Maze. Mind Blanc. Powered Bland, Sunburst, Telepathy, Tsunami, Astral Projection. Hold on, let's see if I can get my mouse to work. Come on, buddy. Yeah, there you go, pal. You got it. Astral Projection, Foresight, Gate, Imprisonment, Mass Heal. Last page. We did it. We're almost there. Meteor Swarm, Power Word, Kneel. Power Word Hill, Plasma Wall, Shape Change, Storm of Boredoms, Time Snot, True Palafomorph, True Resurrection, Word, and then in our world, Wish is a 10th level spell, which you get at 19th level. Because you don't need 4 levels of casting Wish every fucking day. You just don't. So let's hit the save button so our progress isn't lost in annals of time. And I'm going to take a sip of water. I don't have a timer going. I don't even have a fucking phone. I left my phone in the toilet. Hold on. I do that sometimes. Yep, sure enough. Hold on, let me grab some water real quick. I'll get back to the table with you guys. Bacon, ice, and just put that there. All right. Thank you. I'm going to start setting my timer. I'll start kicking through this stuff. All right. Got my water. I want to close this window because that fire's died down. I'm going to put one last log on that fire. And then we'll be done for the night. All right, I'm all caught up in my picture. Come on, baby. There. There we go. I wanted pancakes, but I didn't want to sit around making pancakes. So what I did is I made a big bowl of batter and I just poured it into a Pyrex plate and then baked it at 375 for 20 minutes. And now I've got a giant pan, like a giant pancake. And I just cut off a piece of it, reheat it, put some butter on it, pour some syrup on it, and it's just a cornbread shaped piece of pancake. Highly recommend for the lazy cook. It tastes more cakeish than fried because it's not on a pan. It's not griddle fried. It is a little different, but super tasty. Yeah, it's just, yeah, you're right, because the pan's gone. Well, I mean, it was in a pan. But I am putting butter and syrup on it, not frosting. Like it tastes like a pancake. Like it needs something, you know. I actually put crushed pecans in mine, so they got that crunchiness to it. I think I'm gonna use walnut next time too. Pecan and walnut. Yeah. All right. So 60. Right. So basically, you're saying I'm wasting time. Message received. Let's go back to the front of our list. Let's try to keep in mind what we got going on with each of these. So let's go back to the front. I got the timer going. I'm just giving you shit. Appreciate that. Thanks, Omni. Very much, honestly. Very much so. Okay, so we're here. Now we can start clicking on individual spells. I think I can afford to do it like this. Acid Splash. We know by default acid is going to be... What the fuck? What exactly is going on here? Because I keep losing stuff in the margins here, it seems. Insert. Like, where did all this shit go? Did I accidentally overwrite it somehow or something? Colors, damage. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to fetch it off another list. Hold on. I'm gonna pain in the ass. Copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can do that. We okay here now? Okay, I'm still content with how these colors are laid. Actually, I can. Oh yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just leave it like that for now. This isn't final format. This is just stuff. I'm starting to. Anyway, I don't have to worry about the disparage. It's fine. It's fine. Phil, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty happy with how the colors are working. White for Force, Cold, Psychic. There is the argument that Cold could be black, not white. I respect that. But there's a lot more snow-themed things in Magic the Gathering that are white-based than anything else. Although they have snow-covered lands for all of them. But beyond the land cards themselves being any color, there's more. I think there's more. Actually, let's shit test myself here real quick. I know I'm not going to change it, but I'd like to be right. Let's go with Scryfall, and let's go with. Let's press the button that says snow. Goblin Snowman, green, blue, black. Red, blue, colorless, blue. A lot of blue going on in snow. White. Some more white. Is that all of them? That's not a lot of cards. Let's go with. Let's look for sleep. How about Arctic? Raven is blue. It's a flying creature, though. White for plains creature. White, blue, green, green. Fair argument cooking here. Let's go to. I might just be. Let's see. Winter. How about that? White, black, black, black. Colorless. Green, green, green. White, blue, green, 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 black, blue, blue, red, colorless. Somebody's name doesn't count. Winter Moon Commander, that name technically doesn't count either. Winter Orb. A lot of blue going on in the cold world. A lot of blue, a lot of green. Cold. Black, white, blue, colorless, blue, red, out cold, stern cold, stern scolding. That doesn't count. Scolding, that doesn't count. Stop cold, succumb to cold. Huh. Frostine. This seems like a decent enough rate, though. I generally trust Scryfall. Cold, and then ice. Ice was the last one I think I wanted. It's all over the place. Well, that doesn't. Did I spell ice wrong? That doesn't count. Okay, this might not be a good array, but we saw there was a lot of different color representations, so I probably can't do it wrong. I'm just gonna stick with white. There might be a better world out there. I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's not a good one. But we saw enough other stuff that I think we're okay. I'm gonna leave it here. It's not perfect. But before we move on, I'm fine with it being blue and green as well. I think white's probably the shakiest. But is there... I can't see us cheating. I can't see us swapping black with white on anything here, though. So, since white needs to have 4, technically cold doesn't need 4 color. It doesn't need 3 colors. Is there some place I could move white to change that and just leave cold as blue? Because I'm good with cold being blue and green. No, you know what? I think I'm okay with it as is. It's not perfect. Like lightning, maybe. Fire, I guess there's like an outside argument for that, but like every fire spell in Magic is red. So, you know, a little crossover for any colors, all right. But having dominance, for type of yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll just leave it there as a consolation prize for the color, because white and cold are often the same. That's weak sauce, but I think blue and green are the strongest contenders by far. So, and then since we had about as much red as white in the cold categories. Okay, okay. So I am officially done mincing my brain over it, but I thought it was worth the dive into it. And like we said before, lightning and fire is like 98% red only. Poison is all black and green. Psychic is white, blue, and black. Feels really natural. Radiant, I could see an argument for... I could see an argument for red being radiant, but we have a limit of 4 colors, and force, fire, and lightning are absolutely red. And then thunder goes with the earthiness of red. Red has a lot of like mountains, obviously red, right? So that makes sense because thunder is either like lightning related, or it's like concussion or earth impact stuff. So that feels pretty strong as red as well. I'm okay with it. Definitely for blue and green. Those both feel very strong. So the red is the consolation in this instance, I guess. Yeah, okay. I think I'm content with leaving those there, but it was very much worth the time. What the there we go. Okay, great. I was getting myself confused by stuff, so I'm gonna let that all go. Okay, great. So I'm good with the aspects of magic. I'm good with the 6 descriptors we have now. I'm great with the 10 damage types still in place. Duration we explained, good to go. And so now we have our glossary is straight. So now we can start devoting each spell individually to the proper colors. So back at it. Instantaneous, the duration feeds itself, so instantaneous effect. It does acid damage. Anything else going on in here? Nope. Okay, cool. Blade Ward. It's 1 minute. Ooh. Whenever a creature makes an attack roll against you before the spell ends, the attacker subtracts D4 from the attack roll. Whenever a creature makes an attack roll against you before the spell ends. This is a concentration spell. This has changed. It used to be instant because it only lasted the round. But now that it can last for up to a minute, so we're going to make it concentration. It doesn't list it as concentration here. Oh, yeah, it does. It does list it as concentration. How about that shit? Okay, cool. It's a cantrip, though. So the way that the mana system works, it's 10 plus the amount of mana that you tap. Cantrip's a 0-level spell. It takes 0 mana. The DC is 10. There you go. Easy peasy. You can stat cantrips, though, after the first cantrip. They're considered 1 mana apiece. So, like, I could have... 1 minute. Target is myself only, though. So minor illusion, for instance. A 19th level bard could have 11 instances of minor illusion active at the same time. It's the first cantrip's free, and then at 19th level you get a 10th level spell slot, which presumably you use for wish. But if you want to maintain concentration on 11 illusions at the same time, a bard can do that. The DC on their concentration check would be 20 against any saving throw that they have to make. But yeah, that'd be one hell of a show. So I would watch that. That's you can really tell the production value of a bard by the amount of illusions they have running at the same time. Another great little piece of flavor that can be introduced because of the mechanical designs of the mana system. Fun stuff. Again, I've been using this mana system for 7 years in my campaigns. I finished a 6-year campaign from level 1 to 20 in February, and we literally went from level 1 to 20. We had a ranger, a paladin, a arcane trickster, and a druid. So every character had mana, and this is so fucking good at all levels of play. It's so good. Just like the more powerful your character gets, the more fragile they get, because all 6 of their saving throws can't be good. So occasionally you're going to grind them on the stuff that they suck at, and they're just going to dump mana everywhere. So they become paranoid. Shit, I can't count on these spells to be there. We need to think through how we're going to handle this. I love that shit. It's so fucking good. Anyway, I'm on a major tangent, so forgive me. Okay, let's look at Blade Ward again real quick. When creature attack roll before the spell ends, the attacker subtracts D4 from their attack roll. So the Blade Ward changed. It's now detracting from our target. It's protection because it's boosting. It's making you more difficult to hit. But I'm going to say it's suppression because it's reducing their die roll. It's not control because you're not dictating their behavior and you're not preventing them from taking an action. But suppression, like along the lines of like countering magic and dispelling stuff, I would say this new version of Blade Ward fits there really nicely. So I'm going to change this for 2024 to white and blue. That feels very natural to me. So let's keep it up. I love doing this stuff. I love playing with color. It's so fucking fun. Cantrip, one action. Duration is instantaneous. Till touch is good. I should put an X here next to each one I complete, just so I have a guarantee lock on what we're doing. Instantaneous effect, touch, melee, action, chill, channeling chill to the grave. Melee touch attack deals damage. It's necrotic damage. You can't heal your hit points. That anti-magic shit is very black, so chill touch is good as is. Nice. I don't expect to see a lot of changes, but if I don't look, I'm making a stupid assumption about where we're at, and I've got less of a good game. You create up to 4 torchlights within range. Okay, so dancing lights, you create lights and their illusions. It's a duration concentration effect, so that's good. We had blue, but it's a light. It's a specific light spell, so I want to make sure that we're including white in all the light spells. For some odd reason, when I initially had done this, I had decided because it was illusion heavy, no need to make it white. But that's just, I mean, on cantrips it doesn't matter, right? You're not actually spending mana, but it's a flavor text thing. But there's no reason for dancing white lights not to have white magic attached to it. Just absolutely no reason. So Druidcraft, that's going to be a quick and easy green pick. It's instantaneous effects. Affirmative. What can we do with it? Green, fire play. You light or snuff out a candle, torch, or a campfire. You create some harmless sensory effects. Bloom. I could argue this into blue and red, but I want to leave it. I want to leave it just green, just because the druid is so steeped in green that feels right. Rangers very much are white, green, and red magic. Druids are super heavy green with some blue and white, I think. Elder's Blast, instantaneous, white, blue, red, deals damage, force damage specifically, white, blue, red, that's on point. Okay, cool. Elementalism. Elementalism is new. What are the chances that it's going to be all of them? You exert control over the elements, creating one of the following effects. Air, earth, fire, water. Is this a concentration? Instantaneous. Okay. Blue, red, green, and I believe that's it. Air, earth, fire, water, boom. There you go. Yep. Crude shape. You create a spray of cool mist. Okay. Firebolt. Instant fire. Fire. Yep. Firebolt. Let's see what Friends does. I think black and red are going to remain relevant for Friends, but gotta check it. A sense of friendship towards one creature. Friendship is motions. Ooh. Would manipulate be a better word for black than control? I kind of think, yeah. Feels good. Hey, I have these X's. I know where I'm at. So, friends, we're manipulating, which is what I meant by control. I meant like Gesh or command. Compelled duel is a good instance. Suggestion. Yeah, stuff like that. That feels right. So I think we're gonna have some expansion going there. That feels good. So, friendship towards a creature you can see. The target must succeed wisdom saving throw. Be charmed condition for the duration. The target succeeds if it's not automatically, if it isn't humanoid, if you're fighting it, or if you cast a spell in the past 24 hours. It's concentration. Good. Spell ends early if it takes damage. Charmed by you. Yeah, black and red I think still sits pretty. Good. I like where this is going though. Guidance. Divination. Divine magic. Concentration spell. You touch a willing creature and choose a skill. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. Until the spell ends, the creature adds D4 to any ability check using this skill. Concentration. Touch. I like that as a reaction. I'm ashamed I'm sad that they changed that. Any ability check. All right. So guidance, concentration, white and blue for sure. Ingenuity. Yeah, white and blue. That feels right. I feel like I should... One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's do this. So I have it on hand, so I don't have to keep scrolling. Although I should probably scroll lock, but that's a big chunk. Guidance, we're good. Light, white, pretty obvious. Duration, light, duration, concentration. Nah, we can just make it persistent. Magic sheds bright lights. Light can be colored as you like. The spell ends if you cast it again. Oh. Covering the object with something opaque blocks the light. The spell ends if you cast it again. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm fine with that being persistent. Mage Hand, energy. Special floating hand appears as you choose. Conjuration, duration is going to be concentration. X. Concentration does feel right for that. When you cast a spell, you can, you know what, fuck you. I'm going to go with light as a concentration effect. It's a 0 concentration effect. That's fine. Mage Hand. A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. The hand is it's a force effect. Open containers, blah, blah, blah. Take its turn, hand, move, good, blarp. So, mage hand, force effects are white, blue, and red. That feels pretty good. I like that. Double check our list. Oh, I know damage type of force is white, blue, and red. So, cool. That's good. Mending. Let's see how that does. Instantaneous effect. Pairs a single break or tear an object touch. Can't restore magic. Red has creation energy. Blue has ingenuity. I don't think white means repair. You know? I don't that's not a vibe that I get from that. Blue and red for sure. Yeah, that doesn't. I'm thinking of the 4 guilds of Ravnica that are all white energy, and like none of them have anything to do with repair, reinforcement. Like, is all about infrastructure? Even Gruul, as a reverse of the coin, is about just like destroying things. Like, that's a very red energy. Red and black, honestly, but they call it red and green anyway. But I can see the red in that. Simic, blue-green. I can see the blue in it. Not so much the green, but the innovation of maybe that's the word, innovation, not ingenuity. I'm going to stick with ingenuity, but I'm thinking innovation for as a blue descriptor. But yeah, blue green, blue red. I think that's good for mending. I'm happy with that. Message. Point towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target can hear it. Duration is concentration. I like that, so you can sustain the conversation as long as you want. And I like it as being as just blue. That feels pretty good. Mind Sliver. Let's see what that does. That's 1 round. You try to temporarily sliver the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw or take psychic damage and subtract D4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. This language about before the end of your next turn, we use that as an instantaneous effect. And we actually have specific notes in the document that says, hey, when it says like it lasts until the beginning of your next turn or the end of your next turn or the beginning of your target's next turn, stuff like that, that's actually an instantaneous effect, and it just takes a minute for the effect to burn off. But the magic's basically over. But I like this. I like this a lot. This is takes psychic damage, which is white, blue, and black. And then subtracting the D4 from the saving throw is also a white and blue sort of effect. So white, blue, and black. That feels very natural for Mind Sliver. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Minor Illusion. That's going to be blue. Blue. Sound or image of object within range. Sound image. If you create an image of light, such as a chair, but yeah, it's not like light specifically. It's just an illusion. Illusion is generally blue. So there you go. Poison spray. Blue, black, and green sounds pretty appropriate. Instantaneous effect over here, and yep, it's just damage. So poison, black, green, white, black, green, instant, good to go. Prestidigitation, classic blue, but let's see what else it might have for us. Prestidigitation. Let's see. Transmutation, hour effect, concentration, sensory effect, instant harmless sensory touch. So blue magic for sure. Clean or soil, minor sensation, magic mark, minor creation. So I'm seeing blue for sure. I'm seeing red. Yeah, I think blue and red. That feels good. I like that. It was blue only before. I didn't need to be that strict. I like that, blue and red. I will accept arguments that prestidigitation should be more than just blue and red. Black doesn't feel right. Maybe white, but I feel like that's reaching. And green, I almost want to say green because of the green or soil, but I think I just keep looking at the word soil. It makes me think of dirt. I think that's where it's coming from. But chill, warm, or flavor? I almost do want to move it into green. Because you can change the temperature on stuff. Well, it's just both red and blue because of cold and hot. So there's that. But the clean and the soil. You create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect like a shower of sparks, a puff of wind, magical notes, an odd odor. Okay. Dirty, odor, warm and cold. Let's put in green. Let's be bold. People can come at me if they want for that. Anyone out there in chatland, if prestidigitation as green feels wrong to anyone, let me know. So I think we can like tangent it into it. It feels right. Isn't it great that we're belaboring just these cantrips? I think that's great. I think we're setting a good precedence for stuff. And I want it to be more inviting, to make it easier to access colors without just everything being whatever. The colors don't matter. Like 3 colors have, I mean, it's just a cantrip, but like any spell with mana that has like 3 colors to it, it's like it's really easy to get access. Like you'd have to specifically be Orzhov Syndicate to not have access to this cantrip off the cuff. So I that feels right to me. That does anyway. Here I am. Looks like a concentration effect. Thank you. It's fire, so big surprise. Clicking flame. No heat. Doesn't ignite anything. Produce flame. But it doesn't create heat, so it's a false fire. So let's add it to white. That's just because. That feels good. Ray of Frost. That's gonna be a cold. White, blue, and green sounds appropriate already, but let's figure it out. Yeah, anyone wants to debate any of this, you are welcome to do so. Just drop me a line. I love the debate, and I love having the opportunity to look at things, to broaden my education on how color magic can be expressed. It's just cold damage, so white, blue, green. Yep, white, blue, green. Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Hey, we're done with the first page. This is getting easier already. We are not gonna finish this tonight. And on Saturday, I think on Saturday I'm going to be doing dungeon delving stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I might do it on stream. Yeah, I will. Like actually loading assets and shit into the Roll20. I might be doing that. Resistance. Because our first dungeon crawl, our 3rd level dungeon crawl, is going to be on Monday night. So I've got the maps built. I have the creatures all parsed out. I just need to build the dungeon and put in the tokens. We'll be good to go. So I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, whatever. Resistance, concentration effect. Agreed. You touch a willing creature. and choose a damage type. When you take some sort of damage from that, reduce the total. Okay. Well, in that case, all the damage types. So all the colors. That was easy. Sacred Flame. I'm guessing we're going to see some white on that guy. Let's find out. Shalala. 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 Flame like radiance. Oh my god, I don't work I do work tomorrow. I mean, what I was trying to say is, oh my gosh, tomorrow I have lunch stream for design work, so we'll work on this at lunch tomorrow too. How fun. I love doing this. We haven't worked through this list in a couple of years. Sacred Flame. Like radiance descends on creatures that you see around you. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. Take radiant damage. All right. Radiant. Sacred Flame, and it's radiant damage. The target must succeed on a dexterity. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature. It's definitely white damage, but it's flame-like radiance. Produce flame, which was flame-like radiance that created light. I gave that white and red. Oh yeah, Sacred Flame. Yeah, white and red. Cool. Looks like I already made that call. We're gonna stick with it. Shalalala. It's gonna be green, obviously. Concentration effect. Yerp. But it's a cantrip, so cheers. Quarterstaff. Magic stick. Magic stick spell. There you go. Shocking grasp. Lightning springs from you. Okay. Well, lightning springs from me. Instant effect. Cool. Lightning. Yep. Lightning. Yes. Shocking grass. Lightning. Red. Good. Thank you. Lightning strike. Ooh, Sorcerer's Burst. I know nothing of this if they ask you. Instantaneous effect. 0. Pretty good. Sorcerer's Energy. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, psychic, or thunder. Black, green. White, blue, green. White, blue, green, black. Red. White, blue. Red. Black, green, got them all. Okay, cool. White, blue, black, red, green. Yes, please, spare the dying. Instant effect. Becomes stay. Oh, this should be a green spell. White, black, and green. I'm good with all three of those. Am I? Choose a creature within range that has 0 hit points and isn't dead. The creature becomes stable. I don't. That doesn't feel blackish because you're not saving them from dying. You're just stabilizing. You're healing them. You're not bringing like Revivify. That's black. Raise is black. Resurrection is black. Even reincarnation can be black. Yeah, spare the dying. That doesn't feel like a very black thing to do, so I'm gonna hit that. So it feels like cantrips being rudimentary magic should be available to all. It's a color identity. You could decide that you want a cantrip. Again, the only time because it doesn't use mana at all, the only time you wouldn't have access to these things is if you were to say, like, you can't have Spare the Dying unless, like, your guild. Like, if you're playing Ravnica, it'd be like, if your guild doesn't have white or green mana in them, they can't have Spare the Dying. And even if that were the case, you could study it, like, perform research so it becomes the color that you want it to. You could prepare it twice. Or you could use a less strict magic system and just be a narrative system that the color you cast is the one that you get. there's 3 degrees, right? There's narrative magic, which is what we have already. This is an illusion spell, and I make up what it does. Woo! It's a cantrip. You're done. Restricted preparation is the spell. You have to get the spell to be on the list of colors that you want. If you're not, like in a Kamigawa campaign, for example, there are no strict color allegiance. Like there's no guilds, there's no schools, there's no real devotion mechanics in Kamigawa. So there's no, you could learn any of these. That'd be fine. It's only when you're in a narrative world that is specifically restricting what your color identity is, does it really matter what color the spell is when it comes from a preparation perspective. If you're using a strict mana system where you have to devote each point of mana to a specific color, and if you're out of that color, you're out of that spell, then that's the most strict you can be. Because that also requires you to have strict preparation to define what color the spell is, and then to make sure that you have mana to cast it of the same color. So narrative is any color, any mana, you're casting it and you describe it however you please. Restricted preparation is you have to have access to that color, and if your campaign doesn't give you a specific color identity, you automatically have access to all 5. Like a Dominaria campaign, you automatically have access to all 5. Zendikar, all 5. Theros, all 5. Like the ones that are limited, it's more like, what would it be? It would be Ravnica, obviously, Strixhaven because of the colleges, New Capenna because of the wedges, and at the same time Alara, that would be restricted. You could argue that. What's the name of it? The giant kaiju creatures. Kiora, was that the name of it? There's an argument that they have color limitations, but it's not hard baked into it. So it's only like Ravnica and Strixhaven that have like, and Alara and New Capenna, unless I'm missing something. Those are the only ones that have like really hard color identities to them. Everything else is pretty fluid. So you can, if you want to define your character as white, blue, and like white, what is white, blue, and red? Is that Bant? I think that's Bant. I don't remember the name of all the wedges and shards. That'd be a shard. I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm shaking on names. On the wedges anyway, but yeah, if you wanted to specifically limit yourself to being a character that only uses white, blue, and red, then that's a self nerf. You're choosing to do that, so the spells that you're choosing, so you chose to limit yourself, so you can naturally pull from any spells that have white, blue, or red in them, and then again you can cheat them onto your list by finding them, buying them to get into like a spell book or like prayer scrolls. To research them so that they're permanently the color that you want them to be, or you can prepare them twice. Once to have access to the spell, and then again to bend it to the color that you want. But again, very few campaigns actually require it. I think those are the most fun, and I like that limitation. But yeah, it doesn't really, so like a Dominaria character could choose spells from all 5 colors, but then you have to balance like how much mana do I need of each to cast the spells that I want if you're going with a restricted mana system. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So I hear what you're saying, that cantrips should be anything that you want, and you could allow, I mean, there is no color technically needed to cast a cantrip. So the colors that we're adding to this is technically just descriptive, because my Rakdos character doesn't need to spend any mana at all to cast guidance. So if I want to say my Rakdos character has guidance because he worships a demon, then fine, give him guidance. And because you're not spending any mana, there's no mana to purport. If you want to play strict preparation, you could decide that cantrips are void of that. Like, you can set your own rules for these. I'm just giving you like the different, like, it's a gearbox. You can shift from loose narrative to incredibly strict, and there's gears in between that you can shift. So maybe I'll spend an extra paragraph pointing that out. I think it's a great question, though. That's a great question. And if that's how you want to run it, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Because, again, the system's designed that anyone can cast any spell at any time, just like you normally would. And then any additional narrative that you want to place is just more and more restrictive than what the game normally would allow. So we build the game to work the way that's supposed, like the rules is written. And then we add these additional mechanics to help drive mechanical meaning behind the choices you make for your narrative, if you choose to. So volunteer system. So hopefully I've beaten that to death. So adding color identities to this helps form the narrative and sculpt like how it would look, how it feels, the kind of characters that would use this sort of stuff as like a suggested feat or a suggested stat bonus for having this background, that sort of idea. I don't know anything about Starry Wisp. It's new to me. Instantaneous effect starts off with a bang. You launch a mote of light. Okay, that's going to put it in white automatically. Radiant damage, that also puts it in white automatically. It emits dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from invisible conditions. That's blue. So white and blue. White and blue. Again, that suppression effect can't turn invisible. You're suppressing their ability to turn invisible. That's perfect. It's not manipulating them. You're not manipulating them. You're taking away their ability. So that's suppression. That's fucking perfect. Okay, thaumaturgy. I like this. We made it better already. You manifest a minor wanderer within range. You create one of the following effects. Let's see what we get. Altering your eyes. That's blue magic. Booming voice. That sounds like thunder. So that would be... we already have blue. We could add red and green. More fire play. Invisible Hand is energy stuff. Phantom Sound is green. Tremors in the ground is red and green. Yeah, so blue, red, and green again. Nice. I like that. We're opening it up. Blue, red, green. It should have always been that way. Thorn Whip. Just fixing things that needed to have been fixed. Speaking of which, I'm working on the colors. I'm working on the healing stuff for the Spelljammer book. Vine-like whips, piercing damage, large creature drags it to you. Thorn Whip is obviously green. Ooh, a Thunder Snap. Well, we know what thunder is. That's blue, red, green energy. 5-foot emanation. Thunder damage. There you go. Instant effect. Thank you. X. I. Blue, red, green. Wow, green's making out like a fucking bandit today. We're gonna have to do a sweep again to see how many. What our ratios are. Toll the Dead. That sounds like a black-based spell if I ever heard it. Instant effect sounds good. You point at a creature you can see in range, and chimes of dolorous bells are audible. Wisdom save 6 necrotic damage. Bob's your uncle. There. Truest strike in town. What you got? Got it by a flash of magical insight. Oh, insight, ingenuity. That sounds like blue energy. Spells casting, ability to attack damage rolls instead of your strength. Your ability to you deal radiant damage, which puts it in the white category. Extra radiant damage. There you go. Yep. And we're adding blue to it. Vicious Mockery. Tell me all about it, kid. Instantaneous effect. Very good. You unleash a strong insult laced with subtle enchantments. At 1, creates psychic damage and emotions. Emotions is the flavor, psychic damage is the form. Psychic, white, blue, black, and emotions, red. Everyone gets a piece of it except for poor green. Hey, what's up? Yeah. I get it. Yeah, totally viable. I have no complaint with you doing it that way. In that case, you would say that cantrips are narrative, and you could decide that cantrips are purely narrative. Anyone can cast them. You could decide that common magic from level 1 to 5, you could cast with any mana, but you're restricted in preparation. So any of the spells from level 1 to 5, it has to be a color that you could normally learn, but you could use any mana that you want to cast it, if you pleased. And then you could have high magic, level 6 through 10, be both restricted preparation and restricted mana, and have high restriction on magic, like severe restriction in that high magic, all mana has to be that color. Like if I want to cast Delayed Blast Fireball, 7th level spell, I have to pump 7 red mana into that 7th level spell. But if it was, say, only restricted preparation for common magic, a Fireball would be a red spell, and as long as I can have a red spell on my list, I can use any mana that I want to cast it. It doesn't matter. So you can go any gear, and you can slice it up any way that you want like that. So I will provide a few different combinations for different flavors and ideas about what that would look like. But yeah, you're right. That's absolutely viable. I want to leave the color identities there for restriction purposes. Or if you're playing it like anyone can do it, this gives you a guidance about, like, this gives you, like, pardon the pun, guidance, but it gives you an idea of, like, what sort of visual effects are naturally related to that sort of a magical effect. So you can either lean into, or, like, if you know that guidance is normally like a white and blue sort of effect, but you know that Rakdos casts it a lot, then seeing Rakdos characters using guidance magic is going to make Rakdos feel special, because they're cheating their way into a spell that they normally wouldn't have, which is a very Rakdos thing to do. Stealing spells, yeah, that feels Rakdos. So, but anyway, but yeah, the again, just another example of even just ignoring the rules that we put in place here adds more narrative depth to that mechanical decision, because it's a decision you make. It's not just a default, like, yeah, anyone can cast cantrips and you don't think about it. Now that we have something to leverage against, right? It's like anyone can cast them, and that's what it means to color identity in general, or this is what it means for the people that cast it out of their native color, blah. So anyway, if I haven't beaten that idea to the ground yet. But again, you're welcome to fight it as much as you want. It's not even really fighting. It's just a decision that you would make for your own table, or specifically for your character. Because your table could just be, yeah, we're just gonna work the rules. There you go. And so if you decide to restrict yourself, that's you. Burning Radiance, well, Radiance, Emanation, Choice, Constitution, Radiant damage. Yep, well, that's a white spell. So there we go. Hey, we made it through the cantrips alive. Well done. It's 11:30. I'm gonna go till I'm running. I can tell I'm running out of gas. So maybe no, I'll stick around. I'll stick around for. We'll go another 20 minutes. Maybe we'll get through first level spells. Alarm. 8 hours, that's persistent. Set alarm against intrusions. So that's defense and prevention, suppression. Choose a window door area within range, no larger than 20-foot cube until the spell ends. The alarms you whenever a creature touches enters the wardened area. Yeah, there you go. White and blue make the most sense. White, yeah, I don't have blue. I think blue makes a ton of sense for this stuff. Does it? It's suppression. No, not blue. It's creating an effect. It's creating sound, an audible alarm, sound or a handbell, 60 feet. That's like a thunderclap, like thinking thunderclap. That's where that red comes from. And then mental alarm. You're alerted by a mental ping. Mind, mental ping. All right, it is blue. Yeah, let's call it white, blue, and red then. Red and yellow, red and yellow. Animal friendship. Well, that's going to be green. It could be red, though. Let's see. 24 hours equals persistent. Thank you. Target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or have the charm condition for the duration. If you or one of your allies deals damage to the target, the spell ends. That's manipulation. So that's technically black, red, and green. Animals is definitely purview to green. Forcing friendship, so the charm, they treat you in a favorable light. That's an emotional thing that feels red. And then manipulating them, forcing them a saving throw or get schnookered by it, that feels black. So because it Yeah. I gotcha. We're on the same page, my man. Armor of Agathis. Let's see how that goes. I like that. I like animal friendship being black. It feels Golgari, you know? Golgari automatically gets green. I liked it being just green initially because animals. But then the friendship bendant, that's where we ended up with red adding on to it. And now we're forcing a saving throw to have that friendship. Yeah, that feels black. I like that. Okay, cool. So, trying to see if I can. I'm just trying to see if I'm talking my way out of it or into it, because I'm talking. But which direction am I trying to? I feel like I'm trying to talk myself into it. So, magical boost, temporary hit points. That's going to be a white effect for certain. And cold damage is white and green. White, blue, and green. Neat. Okay. White, blue, and green. So be it. Arm of the Hobbitor. Instantaneous arm effect. Into it. Tendrils erupt. 10-foot emanation. Strength. Save. Necrotic damage. And can't take reactions until the start of the next turn. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage. So, we're suppressing their reaction. So that puts it in blue territory. Restrain. Operation, divination, healing, light, protection, restraint. Yeah, I like restraint. Let's go with white, blue, and black. I'm good with that. More can't hurt. Bane. 3 creatures of your choice that you can see. Charisma saves. Target that fails this save makes an attack roll or a saving throw. Before the spell ends, the target must subtract D4 from the attack or the save. Okay, so Bane, concentration effect. Cool. Black for sure. Suppression as well. Yeah, blue, black. Yeah, because it's the... Yeah, you're subtracting a suppression. Cool. Just checking my shit. Because, like, when is it restrain versus suppression? Restrain is when, like, you're shutting down, like... I was about to say you take away their action economy. This doesn't take away action economy. This took away action economy. That's why arms is white, blue, black, because of the necrotic effect. And while Bane is only blue and black because it is necrotic damage and a reduction in die rolls. So that makes sense. I'm happy with that. So. Seems like a layup. What does that mean? Can you say that different? I'm willing to look at that again. It's protection. It's cold damage. Oh, like a given. What about it? It's a protection spell that deals cold damage. And it's abjuration, native. Yeah, I don't see it. Or are you in the school that cold is like a precursor to necrotic? Some people feel like cold and necrotic are related to each other, so that's where you can get that effect. I don't personally agree with that philosophy. What is going on over here? Get out of the way. What the hell? There. The best news is that this actual spreadsheet, as is unlocked, is included in the folder, in the zip file. So if you wanted to come along and change these, like you could change these for each campaign. You could have this for each of your characters and just have the spells that are there specifically and use this. So I think it's by nature of being a war. Oh, I see what you're saying. Got it. I thought Agathis was a far realm being, which is blue Cthulhu type energy. Or is Agathis a devil? I thought it was I thought it was a far realms like an elder thing. But if it actually is a devil, devils are blue-black energy. A lot of devils have blue-black energy. So, I mean, that's not wrong. It's just leaning into the blue over the black. Anyway, we're allowed variance in opinions. As long as counterspell is blue, we're okay. One minute concentration, bless effect, okay. You bless up 3 creatures. Okay, that's good as is. Burn 18 hands. Well, that's gonna be red. Instant. Red. Cracker Jack. Meow. Huh? Oh, and Carcery. Carcery's a cruel place. Yeah, Burning Hand's good to go. Charm Person. Let me guess. Blue and red, black and red. Humanoid creature you see, wisdom save, charm condition, and are friendly. Black and red. Why did I go with blue? That doesn't seem accurate. What do we have going on here? That's fair enough. I'm not feeling. I don't know why I had Charm Person as blue initially. That doesn't feel natural to me. Chromatic Orb is going to be all 5, of course. Of course it is. Choose all the damage. Cool. Next, Color Spray. Illusion, blue. Blinded Condition. Blue and that feels like blue and white. That's good. That's good. Blinded. Well, blue for suppressed. That works for vision specifically. If a cone, it's not flashing colorful lights. Yeah. Okay. Command, white and black. Approach, drop, flee, grovel, halt. Yeah, that's white and black. It shouldn't be red. There's no emotions attached to this. That's not an accurate read. This feels much more natural. Yeah. Compel duel though. I think black and red does work for that. Wisdom save on fail, disadvantage on attack rolls. That's suppression. So suppression is blue. And it can't willingly move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. That's restrain but it's not manipulation. So white and blue, and it doesn't have any emotion attached to it, so it doesn't feel like it. I don't think red is the proper expression. Yeah, this isn't changing people's emotions or dispositions. This is specifically suppressing their ability to make rolls, and it's forcing them to take actions. So that's manipulation, suppression, and they can't move further away from you. That's restraint. So the correct answer here is white, blue, and black, not red. Neat. I feel like I'm learning things today. Comprehend languages. That's mind stuff. Understand literal meaning of language. Here it's assigned. You also understand written language. Surface, touch things equals blue. There it is. 1 hour? Yeah, if it's 1 hour or less, it's generally going to be a concentration effect. Hey, what's up? Oh, you're right. Green does fight people. Oh, you're right. Is Compel Duel an actual fucking Magic card? But that's just because it's because the fight mechanic. That's. I feel like I want to cheat away from that. Compel. Did we have this conversation before? Fuck you, green spell. Yeah, okay, let's do it. What the fuck? Why not? Green obviously doesn't have enough spells. let's just do it so we can be card grognards. Destroy, control, create and destroy water. That's going to be green and blue, right? Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Thanks for that call out, by the way. That was fucking great. We'll see if there's anything else inside here that would similarly do. Like the Fuddle might do that. Create water, destroy water. Bob's your uncle. X, blue, green, done. Good. Instant, yes. Next, cure wounds, white and green. White and green. Detect evil and good. You're detecting stuff, so that's going to be. You also sense whether the hollow spell is active. That's white and white and black. This is good and evil. Of course. Detect magic. Sense the presence of magical effects. I think it's just blue. Yeah, we're gonna just leave detect magic as blue. Detect poison and disease. That would be black and green. Ooh, but it's detect, so poisons, poisonous, venomous creatures, magical contagions. Black and green, that feels good. This guy's self is gonna be blue. Yeah, because of illusion. Blue. The Sonant Whispers. We're on a roll. Instant. Cool. Discordant Melody in its mind. That puts it in blue. Target makes a wisdom saving throw. Failed save. It takes psychic damage. White, blue, black. And must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away from you as it can, which is also very black. So, Dissonant Whisper is white, blue, black. Bam, white, blue, black. We're good. I'm pretty good at this shit. Fascinating. Just fucking fascinating. Okay, so at the end of the turn, your attack weapon deals radiant damage. There you go. Bob's your uncle. Big shocker. Divine Smite. I want to guess that's going to be white as well. Don't let the title fool you. This is all about weeds. I don't know. Radiant damage. Bob's your uncle. Instant effect. White. Ensnaring Strike. That's going to be green. Probably red and green. Hit a target. Vine. Strength. Oh, it's Restrained. Restrain is white. And vines and stuff, the language says green for the flavor, so we'll go with that, white and green. Yeah. Entangle, it's going to be another white-green effect. Difficult for the duration. The plants turn to the ground. Yep, white and green. Expeditious Retreat. That's going to be green. Probably red. Dash action. Energy. So let's call that red and green. That makes sense. Fairy Fire. Probably blue and white. Blue, green, and violet lights, your choice. Dim light. And can't benefit from the illusion, so white and blue. False Life feels very black. Oh, you gain temporary hit points. No? It's because it says Necromancy here. Don't let it fool me. Necromancy is not black. Not automatically. It's just temporary hit points. That's white and blue. White and green. God, that's so wrong. White and green. Come on, Kearney. Play with the program. Featherfall should be blue and, yeah. Blue and green. Fallen creatures, there you go. Okay, cool. Find familiar. Obviously green. Is find familiar. Instantaneous, thank you. Oh my god, time flies when you're having fun, son. Oh god, how close to done am I? Not very. Maybe I've got the energy to go until 9 o'clock to get through it. We'll see where I'm at. Telepathic connection, combat. Okay, blue and green. That psionic shit. Fog cloud, sky, and fog is air and water. and natural shit, weather. So blue and green, there we go. Good berry, hit points, and food. And very nice enough, and enough nourishment. I'm just gonna leave it green. I'm taking away the white. Ah ha ha. Grease creation. Grease appears. That's red. Red and blue. Suppression, being knocked prone but not restrained. So X, red, and blue feels good. Guiding bolt, that's going to be white. Yep, radiant damage. God, that spell does so much fucking damage. Radiant bolt is the most efficient mana spell in the entire fucking game. It's 1 mana for 46 radiant damage, and you gain advantage to do it again next round. That's fucking sick. That spell is just that it does ridiculous damage. It should be it's hype like that because it's a cleric list spell and only cleric list, so it's difficult to get on other people's list spells. Except there's the magic initiate that lets you grab any first level spell. Like a wizard could get guiding bolt under the list for the cost of a feat, and then they can just dump their mana supply into it. Sorcerers are really smart to take magic initiate with this spell. This spell is just fucking OP. It is a super, super strong spell. I'm not changing the spells due to mana, but if I were to change the spells due to mana, I would drop it to 2d6 for 1 mana. Definitely, because it gives you advantage on the next hit for sure. It should be 2d6 and scales 2d6 per spell slot, is what it should do. I'm sad they didn't fix it. Probably wasn't a big priority. No one was complaining about it, so they probably just ignored it. Hail Thorns. Well, that's gonna be green. Yep. X, green. There you go. Healing Word. Healing Word. White and green. There you go. Hellish Rebuke. Green Flames. Well, green flames doesn't mean green magic. It just means fire. So fire equals red. Why do I have... What is going on there? Fire damage. Yeah, it should not be black. I love you, Hell, but no. That was a misnomer. Frightened. So that's fear-based. That's black. Oh, it's immune. That's white. And bravery. That's red. So white and red. White and red. How about that? Concentration? Sure is. Hacks. Curse. Necrotic damage, black. Disadvantage suppression, black and blue. Yeah. Black and blue is right for X. Hunter's Mark, green. Force damage. Green magic. Wait, is it green magic? Why would it be green magic? Because I have advantage on wisdom to find them. Rolls. You also have advantage on any wisdom, perception, and survival checks you make to track them. So yeah, it's tracking. So white, blue, black, white. Jesus, white, blue, black. No. White, blue, red, and green. Wow. Okay. I had it as green originally. A mine. They call it a mine. White, blue, red. That feels good. White, red, and green are all very Ranger colors. Nice knife. Instant effect. Shard of Ice, that's blue and green. White, white, blue, green. No, wait. Piercing damage, explodes, cold damage. Okay. White, blue, green. Identify. That's gonna be a blue spell if I ever seen any. Touch an object, you know about it. Next, Illusory Script, also a very blue effect indeed. Better hit save before I cry. There we go. My system felt hiccupy there for a second. So, Illusory Script, parchment paper, spells, illusions. Yeah, blue. Thank you very much. Inflict wounds. Instant. Necrotic. Black. Next. Jump is going to be probably a green effect. Yep. We're going to make it red because of energy, impulse. That feels about right for jump. So we're going to give it red just so red has some utility going for it. Lawn Strider, definitely green. 1 hour per. That is going to be a concentration effect. X. Green for sure. Red doesn't feel right for Lawn Strider. I'm just going to leave it with green. Mage Armor. That's going to be white. I'm going to cast Magic Missile. White, blue, red. Force is white. Get in there, buddy. White, blue, black for Psychic. White, blue, red for Force. Protection from evil and good. That's going to be white plus what? Creatures of those types of disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be possessed or gain the charmed or frightened conditions from them. White and blue. And it's dealing with evil, so we'll give it to him. What about detect? Evil and good? Yeah. That felt right. Hey, we're going to stick with this till we're done. Purify food and drink. That's going to be green. Are we going to give it blue? Yeah, let's just give it with green. Second greenish gray, greenish ray, range, target equals poison damage, poison condition. Cool. Ray of Sickness is, since it's poisoned, it is black and green. Where my mouse go? Thank you. Sanctuary. Worry creature. Must make a wisdom saving throw. Lose the attack of the spell. The spell doesn't protect the worried creature from areas of effect. So let's go with white and blue. Wait. Any creature who targets the worried creature with an attack roll or damaging spell must succeed a wisdom saving throw, or either choose a new target or lose the attacker of the spell. That's not suppression. That is manipulation. So white and black makes sense for Sanctuary. Neat. Blue doesn't feel quite right there. Searing Smite, that's going to be black. Red, I mean. I'm obviously getting tired. Fire damage, Constitution saving throw, or more fire damage, X equals red. Searing Smite, does it do radiance? Fire, fire. Nope. Get out of there, white. You don't belong anymore. Shield, protection, white. But it is force, so let's give it white, blue, red. I'll go with that. Shield of Faith. +2 armor class. That's just pure white. It's not specifically saying a force effect. I know that's a chintzy difference, but it is a difference. Silent Image. Illusion. There we go. Blue. Sleep. It's going to be natural. But the card, I believe Sleep is an MTG card, and I think they have it classified as blue. Let's see how that works. Oh, it repeats the save to wake up. So that's suppression. I'm good with that. Creatures that don't sleep. Immune to the exhaustion condition. Yeah, we're going to go. Hey, blue and green. We're already there. Speak with animals. Definitely going to be a a green spell. Concentration. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Tasha's laughter, concentration, good. Fall prone, incapacitated. That's going to drop it to blue. And the target has advantage on the save. The save is triggered by damage. Oh, and laughter. Yeah, okay, I can see red because of the laughter's the laughter is forced. So that's manipulated. So let's go blue. Let's go blue, black, and red. I know Tasha's is a card. Let's go MTG Sleep. Blue. Cool. Called that one right. Now let's go with Tasha's. Pure blue. Okay, good enough. Tensor. That's going to be a force effect, I believe. So, white, blue, red. Concentration. Ritual, but you can cast it as concentration as well. Yep, force. White, blue, red. Thunder Smite. Thunder damage prone. Thunder damage prone. Pretty good. Thunder wave. It's gonna be more of the same, I reckon. Thunder damage. Wait, Thunder Smite is now an instant effect. Thank you. Do I have Searing Smite correct? I'm afraid I've been sleeping. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Instant. Oh, wait, is Searing? No, I'm not sure. Oh, it is 1 minute. Huh. Why isn't it burning? Why is it fire damage? Burning damage only does a D4. This only does an extra d6. It's a first level spell, though. Constitution to the end. Ugly gray area. At the start of each of its turns until the spell ends, the target takes an extra fire damage. On a failed save, the spell continues. On a successful one, it ends. I am not happy with Searing Smite not being concentration. Not happy with it not being instantaneous. I am in an ugly... We have a few ugly instances of this popping up. Most of the time, it's like some sort of protection, something for your character. So, since you can stack concentration effects, it's not a big deal. You just make it a concentration, just add it to the pile. But something like this, where you're damaging a target... It's the fire... Oh, I wish it was worded that you can take an action to put the fire out, because then I could just call it instantaneous and it just lasts until you put it out. That's the way it should be. Oh, fuck you, man. I am really not happy with that effect, but let's just go ahead and let's just put it down as instant. We're just gonna let it smudge out in that area. We'll call it a gray area. They call it a mine. That's the one hole in the system, is that I'm not overwriting what they have written here for what I think is going to be more sensible for this mana system. I'm trying to minimize the change. Like, how can we have meaningful impact with the least amount of changes to how the actual spells and feats and stuff work? That's what I'm attempting. Invisible Mindless Shadeless Force. And it does shit for you. White, blue, green. White, blue, black. White, blue, red. There. Red's making out like a fucking bandit, too. Witch Bolt. Let's see what that does. Is it necrotic damage? It's lightning damage. Oh. Damage. Huh. Oh, it was already red. Cool. We did it right. Wrathful Smite. Angry God. This is another 1 minute effect. Ooh, it's frightened. Takes necrotic damage. That's black. Wisdom save are frightened. I'm just going to call this instantaneous as well. That's not the right effect. Frightened. Yeah, that doesn't restrain people. That makes them run away. Okay, cool. Hey, we finished it. I'm going to go ahead and stop progression here. We're going to come back at lunch tomorrow and drill our way through the list. We can get through second level spells at lunch. Probably not gonna get through third level spells at lunch, but we'll get well on our way. And then then we can spend more time on this on we can spend some time on this on Saturday. Maybe finish up the list. All right, hey, I gotta bounce out of here, so we're gonna call it quits. Hey, look, my alarm's about to pop off, just like this. Bravo. All right, cool. Omni, hey, thanks for the feedback. I really appreciate bouncing ideas with you. I like your input. I like your design chops. I'm glad you're around. And anyone else that's out there in the multiverse, swing by, say hi, drop in. I'll be back tomorrow morning to do more Eberron art. I'll be back at lunch around 1:30 Seattle time, which will be 4:30 East Coast time. We'll be around for an hour or so. And then I'll be back Saturday morning around 9 o'clock till noon. I will be off on Sunday. And then we'll be back at it, Ebron, Monday morning. We'll do some. If it's not done, we'll finish up design on Monday lunchtime around 1:30. If not, we'll finish it on Tuesday. And yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see y'all in the morning. Cheers.